Hello everybody. I thought I'd do something slightly different today than is my typical format. I thought I would let you into a few of the people that I enjoy subscribing to on YouTube. There will be in no particular order because that's just how I am. If you haven't noticed through the channel, I wing it as I go. So don't expect this to be an organized list. Kailyn Nicholson and Co's Cafe. Kailyn Nicholson, she's a little younger than me. She does podcasts and 2 channels. One is more personal, one is more business. She has long conversations, more personal and general in nature. Manifestation, law of attraction, her own spiritual beliefs. She does this fun yet incredibly apparently stressful on her thing every year of Youtober, where she posts a video a day, autumn and Halloween themed, which is where I got inspired to do my just recently posted Halloween week. She is just, she's endearing. She's somebody that if I knew her in the real world, I would be her friend. She cooks, she chats, she does a lot of just chatting, and she's worked really hard to get to where she is. Her YouTube is her business, it is her job, and her video quality is phenomenal. You can tell she puts in a lot of time and effort into what she does. And her personality is, like I said, it's just endearing. And when I just want to chill out and relax and not put so much pressure on myself to improve or be happy or motivated, to be inspired, to have this pressure that I self-impose, I will watch her. But she often goes into these deeper topics that end up inspiring me in their own right, in their own way. And she has struggled with her self-image and her body image and her self-acceptance over the years, and she's begun to start to break into that territory. She just talks so intimately and openly that you just feel like she's hanging out with you in your living room. And so when I want to chill and relax, she's somebody I turn to. Also somebody that I originally, when I first started getting into YouTube and watching YouTube, that I turned to was someone called Useless. She is from Denmark, and it's mostly a fashion channel. I'm not personally into fashion. If you watch most of my videos, you'll notice I come out without makeup, in my pajamas, dressed in whatever. She does capsule wardrobes, and for a minute I was really interested in the capsule wardrobe thing. I just had too much stuff, too much clothes, in between the transition of ages and stages in my life, and I needed to tone it down from my 20s into my 30s and be more adult. A simple approach to coordinating myself, and she's really good with that. She has a very simple style that I really appreciate. And she goes in depth in capsule wardrobe and fashion. She is sustainable, and she used to be in the fashion field, but she preferred to switch to fashion sustainability. She has her own line of sustainable jewelry, and she teaches how to narrow down your wardrobe, and does these little episodes that are pretty fun of Steal Her Style, where she picks a famous person and using what she already owns, she implements that style based on what she already owns, and shows you how to reuse what you already have. So because fashion is one of the most detrimental to the environment, and so she is sustainable not just in what she purchases, but in reusing what she already has. Plus, she is just happy. She's a happy girl. And being in her company makes me want to be happy. So I don't watch her as much as I used to because I've kind of drifted away from the fashion aspect, but when I just want to chill out, you watch her. And I still want to pump up her channel because she has a great channel. She seems like a very lovely lady, and she is very much about sustainability and the environment. And she will help you clean out your cluttered closets, reuse what you have, and stop spending needlessly on fashion. Moving into the more productivity and self-improvement arenas of the things that I watch. The first one that I stumbled on was Amy Landino. She has been at YouTube for years and years and years. She was ahead of the curve. Before YouTube was a thing, a real popular thing, she was doing YouTube. Her videos started about how to make videos, and they progressed into the ultimate productivity channel. So if you have any curiosities about how to better time manage, how to schedule your life, how to be more productive, journaling, all of those kind of topics, she has penned and published her own books. She's been featured on other people's YouTubes. She has become quite successful in her own right by herself. And so if you want to know tips, tricks, techniques to get your life more streamlined, she's a very good place to go. My yoga favorite is Larkin Yoga. She was the first one I found, and I tried some other people, and I just didn't click with them. With a yoga instructor that you're going to follow on YouTube, it's kind of like finding a good match with a therapist or a life coach or a mentor. You got to have a good connection. And the other people, they just didn't fit what I was going for. They were too thin, for one, too focused on fat loss or body composition. They weren't like she was. She's very fit, very healthy, and her channel is simple and easy to follow. And she has so many different types of yoga for anything that you might need. So my yoga go-to is Larkin Yoga. When I just need a little brain boost and I don't want to veg out, Brightside, quick little hit videos, 5-7 minutes of information, little facts, history, science, how your brain works, growth mindset, all sorts of positive things that are just quick little, they're done in cartoon style, and they give you information and education in a fun, fast way that you can get a little quick hit of learning when you want to break away from the motivation, the productivity, or just the lounging kind of YouTubes or exercise. Somebody I recently stumbled on, Lewis Howes, Lewis Hoes. He kind of does one of those sit down podcast talks where he has the big mic with the round thing on it, and he sits across the table and talks to people. And he has such a wide variety of guests. You will see people from all manner and walks of life on his show. From people that believe in hypnosis and meditation and law of attraction, to CEOs and athletes and writers and just the variety of people and subjects that are covered on his shows. And he is very clear speaking individual that makes it's not overpowering. He doesn't do you in, and it's not so loud and over the top. He's very good at being very even keeled and direct, and I like the variety of his shows. Tom Bilyeu, Bilyeu, and his wife Lisa are currently now doing Impact Theory and the Women of Impact Theory. I stumbled on them most recently, and I am most addicted to them. There's also a wide variety of subject material that is covered about growth mindset, striving to become the best version of yourself, that we all are capable of reaching beyond limitations that we've self-set or society has set upon us, that this thing, these quarks, which is the tiniest substance in the universe if you examine down, we're all made of quarks, this vibrating energy, and it kind of really is the Matrix. Tom Bilyeu says that, his mission in life is to pull people out of the Matrix and let them know that they can be whatever they want to be. They just need to build a skill. I like that he came to the realization that money truly can't buy happiness, even though he had it all at his fingertips. I like when he invites his wife on, and they have candid conversations about the dynamics of their relationship. I like that his wife is now involved, and there is a female section to the show. I like the variety of guests on the show. Neuroscientists. Anytime they bring a neuroscientist on, I get super geeked. I love that. I love learning how the brain actually works. It's really, really fascinating. And brain plasticity and all of that kind of stuff. Just super geeked out, and he's very, very inspirational. He will get you to want to make a change versus just watching something and getting motivated and getting a burst of adrenaline or dopamine and calling it quits and sitting back down on the couch. He makes you want to make a change. And so does his wife. And I've utilized some of what they've discussed in my own life. And Gary Vee, at first, he's a little harsh. He's a little strong, and he mostly talks about CEOs and starting your own business and entrepreneurship. It's pretty much what he takes. But you can take some valid information from what he says and apply it to your life. But you have to be able to handle how he comes across. And at first, he came across a little too strong for me. And his demeanor made me unable to hear what he was saying. But the more that I listened, truly listened to what he had to say, the more I grew to appreciate what he had to offer. So sometimes I will hit up Gary Vee for a kick in the ass if I'm feeling particularly unmotivated or down on myself. I just have a couple more psychology related and eating disorder related. Katie Morton, she's a therapist. She runs her own YouTube, and she has been doing it for several years. She has a variety of topics that she covers. You can look into her, KATIMORTON. Polar Warriors is a bipolar channel. Living Well with Schizophrenia is a Living Well with Schizophrenia channel. Eating disorders, What Mia Did Next. I randomly stumbled on her. It was in my recommendations. And she is, I believe, fully recovered from an eating disorder, from bulimia. That's why it's called Mia Did Next. And she is a valuable resource of common sense If you're looking for a solid recovery channel where people aren't waffling and their ideas may be suspect and may not be the best advice to follow, she seems pretty solid in her recovery. She's very legitimate in her intention. She brought it back down to the core of what it's about the recovery, and she's just a good inspiration for eating disorder recovery. Rebecca Jane approached her eating disorder recovery in a completely different way. She could only eat out and not feel guilty about it initially. So she ate out at restaurants because she didn't have to worry about the portion control, and she just ate that way. And her channel has gradually evolved into almost like an interactive with the outside world. Rebecca, eat this, and she eats it. Whatever the viewers suggest, or she'll spin the wheel, what am I going to have for breakfast today? And it's like an interactive game show with someone who had an eating disorder, proving that somebody with severe anorexia not only can overcome their condition, but they can go on to eat anything. It is a little, but each person finds their way their own way. And I value her honesty. She talks honestly about what she eats and how she feels when she's doing it and the challenges she has to do. And it's creative and it's different, and it's the only other eating disorder channel that I follow. And I have one last shout out. I may have missed a few, but I have one last shout out to Comic Talks Weekly. I wish that I could say I was super into comics and I was a comic geek chick. I am not a comic geek chick. But I have a friend who is a personal friend of mine and has himself started a YouTube channel. And he is doing very successfully for having just begun. He already had technical skills from his profession. It's funny how things in life, you connect the dots and they come together nicely. He talked about it, he thought about it, and he went for it. And the technical quality of his channel already is superb. And I'm proud of him, and I suggest, because he's my friend, if you're interested in comics, not just because he's my friend, but if you're interested in comics, find out a little bit more about that. I follow him because it's inspiring to see other people's progress, and I'm incredibly happy for his success, for taking the jump in life. And we can all take that lesson from what he's done. If you're thinking about it, stop thinking and just do it. You've got to just do it. So that is a summary of the people that I watch and that I primarily watch. And hopefully some of these will be good for you. I'm going to link below to all the people that I mentioned, and check them out if you want to. Love you guys. Good morning. Goodbye. Good day. Good life. Peace.